Welcome to the new Ork Codex review. There's a lot of great videos out at the moment, all very long. This video is going to take you through everything you need to know in under 5 minutes. If you've played Orcs before and want to know what the changes are, then listen up. Stick around to the end for my potentially controversial summary of the new Codex. There's quite a general move for everything to move to toughness 5, which is really cool. Here we go, as a charge reroll, you have to roll both dice, not just one. Ramshackle's quite a big change, reducing damage by 1 and available on all vehicles. Daka has been replaced with Daka weapons. These are a type of rapid fire where at half distance you get more shots. Overall, I'll probably say that Daka weapons get you rolling more dice, which is a good thing. Taking the super shooters on a Daka jet were Assault 3, now Daka 6-4, which means 6 shots at half range, 4 shots otherwise. So generally it's rolling more dice. Got the introduction of beast snaggers, which are really powerful, 6+ invuln, and they get a +1 to hit for monsters and vehicles. And sadly, Gretchen have lost objective secured, potentially the final nail in the coffin for the use of Gretchen. Looking at some of the buffs available, the Orcs now have a War special rule, which is army-wide buffs for 2 turns, really useful, and check out my video I've already done on this. There's a few Warlord traits, possibly the best is Brutal but Cunning, which has an interesting mechanic giving you extra attacks equal to the number of attacks that didn't reach inflict damage stage. There's quite a few good relics, and possibly the best is the Killer Claw, which is Strength ×2, AP -4, and Damage 3. There are now 2 psychic power disciplines, one for the Weird Boy called Powers of the War, and that's generally for buffing, and then one for the Weird Boy or Kill Rig, which is called Beasthead Powers, and that's for mortal wound generation. What I particularly like is there's now buffs, relics, and psychic powers just for squigs. That's really fun. The clans have taken quite a change in this codex, and my favourite, the Death Skulls, have been nerfed quite heavily. In general, there are no custom clans, so you have to pick one of the few that are available, but some of the key characters now don't break clan rules if you include them in a detachment. So starting with my favourite, the Death Skulls, this has taken the biggest nerf. They've lost their 6+ invuln, and instead of reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, 1 damage, you can only choose either a hit or a wound. They have gained a 5+ damage ignore on mortal wounds only. That doesn't quite make up for the nerfs that this clan have had. Next is Goths, probably the best clan at the moment. 6s to hit in melee give you an additional hit. This is nice because you don't have to roll any extra dice as you did before. You also get +1 strength for charging. Snakebites have lost their 6+ damage ignore. They do get +1 to wound for squig models on the charge, and unless they're being attacked by a strength 8 or greater weapon, then wound rolls 1 to 3 automatically fail, regardless of special rules. Bad Moon have lost their reroll hits of 1, but they can add 6 inches to Daka and heavy weapons, and wounds of 6 get +1 to their AP. Evil Sons remain the same, they get +1 to move, or +2 to move for speed freaks. They get +1 to advance, but they've lost their +1 on charge, and they still get no penalties to hit when advancing with Assault Weapon. Blood Axes remain the same, gaining light cover against any shooting over 18 inches, and they can fall back, shoot or charge. Freebooters get a +1 to hit rolls if someone has been killed in that phase. It makes me sad that my blue boys have been nerfed. Now for the stratagems, there's quite a lot, but to be honest, the biggest thing to take away is there's quite a lot of nerfs. 2 of their biggest stratagems have been taken away entirely, so they've no longer got Unstoppable Green Tide for bringing back a unit, or Get Stuck In Lads for fighting twice. You'll also find a shoot twice mechanic has been lost. There's still quite a few good stratagems, but in general they've been toned down. Custom jobs have been included in the Codex, which previously were a mechanic from Psychic Awakening. They allow you to pay points for a single model that's not a specialist mob, but essentially give something buffs. They're a little bit weaker than they used to be, but they're still quite a lot of fun. For example, you can give a Bonebreaker a 5+ invuln and have more shots for vehicles. Specialist mobs have been brought in to replace the Psychic Awakening chapter tactics. Essentially, you can upgrade 1 mob for free. They lose their clan, but the rest of the detachment don't. Definitely worth having one of these for every list. One of the best ones is Truck Boys, where Boys, Knobs and Warboss are allowed to disembark a truck after a normal move. It also gives the truck +1 to hit while they're embarked. Brilliant for getting your boys around the board. Looking at the day sheets, there are changes throughout the Codex, because practically everything has changed in some small way. My thoughts on the Codex. As always, what you find is all the new model range they're bringing out is going to be really powerful. It's the same for any new Codex where they've got a new range, they obviously want to sell the new stuff, and this Codex delivers those new units right to the top tier for the faction. What makes me particularly sad about this, and for most of the Orc players with an existing army, is there's not really a lot in there for people who've already got a mature army. Some mechanics have been improved, like Ramshackle, and possibly the Daka mechanics, you're actually rolling more dice. But so many units have taken nerfs, including stratagems and clan cultures, but actually an existing Orc list is actually going to be worse off with this than the 8th edition Codex. I don't think that's the case for other 9th edition Codexes, in how they've neglected the existing model range for the new one. If you're going to use the new hotness, you're likely to be super competitive in the meta. I think it's a big issue that this is exclusive to the box set and not just available. It's not even in the app. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything key. This was designed to be a quick overview. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon.